Good morning, and thank you for being here today. I am Assemblywoman Leticia Castillo, and I'm proud to be the first Republican to represent the 58th Assembly District since we lost it in 2016. I ran on a promise to protect parental rights and safeguard our children, and today I am here to share two important pieces of legislation and to keep that promise. I'm announcing two bills I authored that reaffirm parents' rightful and constitutional role in deciding what is best for their children. California must return to being a state where parents feel safe to raise their families and instill their values without fear of government interference. After all, parents are the primary educators of their children, and children belong to their parents, not the state. The first bill, AB 600, is the PROTECT Act, which stands for Parents' Rights on the Education of Children about Transgenderism. Our state recognizes that parental involvement education is vital for our republic, and parents have the ultimate responsibility for imparting their values to their children. Our laws support this by allowing parents to excuse their children from health education that conflicts with their personal beliefs. Today, the concept of transgenderism has infiltrated not just health classes, but nearly every subject in schools. Parents in my district and across California are demanding the right to shield their children from teachings that promote the idea that biological sex is meaningless and that they may have been born in the wrong body. As a mental health provider, I have witnessed the alarming trend of vulnerable kids, those struggling with depression, anxiety, ADHD, and other challenges as they adopt transgender identities. As they struggle with the changes their bodies go through during puberty, they are being led to believe that their natural feelings of discomfort can be explained away by a transgender identity, which is not true. The statistics are staggering. In just 5 years leading to 2021, the number of children ages 6 to 17 identifying as transgender has increased threefold. More recently, the Manhattan Institute reported a shocking 100-fold increase in gender dysphoria diagnoses in the United States. These diagnoses often lead to medical treatments that include puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and body-altering surgeries that are irreversible and require the child to be under medical care for the rest of their lives. In California, nearly 2% of young people ages 13 to 17 identify as transgender, a troubling statistic that raises serious concerns about the curriculum being taught in our schools today. Parents of all backgrounds, regardless of race, religion, or political affiliation, want the choice to determine whether their children are exposed to discussions about transgenderism and medical interventions that will permanently impact their lives. The PROTECT Act will allow parents to decide if their children participate in any lessons related to transgender topics, including the notion that biological sex is non-binary. It will allow parents to opt their children out of any instruction related to transgender topics without penalty, while also granting parents the right to sue if schools violate the law. Reestablishing the primacy of parental rights over dangerous indoctrination is a critical first step in reestablishing trust in our schools and educators. Parents must be able to intervene when the best interest of their children is at stake. My second bill, AB 579, is named after Yaeli, the daughter of Abigail Martinez, a loving mother who immigrated to the United States from El Salvador to provide a better life for her family. Tragically, Abigail's daughter was taken from her in the name of gender ideology. Thank you, Abigail, for being here today to share your heartbreaking story. Child and Family Services and family courts have been weaponized to separate gender-confused children from loving families who refuse to socially or medically transition their children. Schools are being trained to assess and grade parents based on whether or not they are supportive of their child's transgender identity. The ACLU, the Human Rights Campaign, the National Education Association, and the National Center for Lesbian Rights have developed a manual that instructs educators to support parents who affirm a child's transgender identity over parents who do not. AB 579, known as Yaeli's Law, aims to end this practice. It will ensure that no parent can be accused of child abuse or neglect for refusing to treat their child as the opposite sex or for refusing to consent to harming their child with puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, or surgical removal of their sexual organs. Parents who are falsely accused will also have the right to sue those who make the false claims. The right to sue is a critical element of this bill, as children who adopt transgender identities are currently overrepresented in foster care and homeless shelters, because these agencies are aware that claims of abuse are a loophole used to circumvent parental consent for receiving gender-affirming medical treatment. The bill will also prevent family court judges from considering it in a child's best interest for a parent to agree with the child's belief that they are being born in the wrong body, and that the child must undergo medical treatments that will result in their sterilization, loss of functioning body parts, and increased health risk in almost every category, from heart, brain, cancer, and life expectancy. No parent should have to choose between keeping their child and socially or medically transitioning their child. In California, Democrats refuse to hear this bill. They are sending a clear message to every parent of a child whose identity does not align with their biological sex, must affirm an ever-expanding list of gender identities and consent to permanent and irreversible medical treatments. This should alarm every single parent and make them reconsider raising children in our state. These bills are about restoring parental rights and placing safeguards around our families. We must protect our children from harmful ideologies that are completely out of control and have already done unspeakable harm. It's time for this abuse of our children to end. And the constituents, not just from my district, but from all districts, agree. Thank you.